Yeah, close.
2 minutes early.
Yeah, we don't,
1.5.
we're not gonna worry about it. Don't say anything you don't want, no.
No problem, David. Richard. Oh, you're still good.
See, I got my name's all
We're
over.
high tech.
The government massacre. Richards. Richards. It's an accident. Yeah.
Sure.
Course, in second grade, you changed that to a P at the beginning instead of an R. You know how an R looks like.
That's probably what I did.
So now you can sound it out. So about 3 months, I was just,
Okay.
which I not great enjoyed it. That's
Aware of that.
also moved me up in line. For 3 months. Anyway.
You gotta suffer from a teacher that wouldn't have a left-handed kid there. Then you know you got problems.
Oh my goodness,
It's really deep in here tonight.
I'm telling you. All right,
Bring
10
some
seconds
Moxie
to
down
left.
if you can drink that.
5 seconds. Okay, 6:30, we'll call the meeting to order. First item on the agenda is. Flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. Gonna add an agenda item, Kevin? That's the next item, so I'm just asking. Not suggesting, I'm asking.
No.
Thank you, I will not either. Anybody else want one? No. Okay, good. So now. We'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes. You have the motion sheet.
Yes, your motion to accept the minutes of January 29th, 2025 as submitted.
Second.
Right, and discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
All right.
Right.
Opposed? Abstentions? Thank you very much.
Okay, public hearing.
Nope,
What's next?
we're gonna follow the agenda. Really? The green sheet.
Oh,
We only make motions when we need them.
okay. Okay, accept the meeting,
So-
communication.
Communications, do we have any?
Communications.
I don't believe so. Good.
Visitors.
No scheduled visitors. They be there. Public participation. So nobody's online?
No, I didn't see any.
Guys, VIP, something like that.
Yeah, right.
We'll call
here.
We'll call them VIPs.
He had to come so far.
Yeah.
So,
No.
okay, there's no one online. Is there anyone here that wishes to throw things at us in public participation?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Okay, you
So-
should identify yourself.
Jim Barton, 158 South Water
Thank
Street.
you.
So, obviously it's budget time. And I was going over this book that my son got here last month. And, so I just wanted to comment on some of this stuff a little bit. I can't really comment on your budget because, I don't know if I have enough information. I don't see actuals. This has a comparison of 3 different budgets. But in this, whatever we're calling this, the first thing that struck me was the funds in your accounts. And the amounts are enormous. And if we're talking about a rate increase, like I think that's important. Fund balance. Fund balance is customarily about 15% of your budget. The state's fund balance, it's called a rainy day fund, that's 15%. The town's fund balance is between 10 and 20%. And that's in this book too, where you quote Amy as I guess talking about the 20%. Your fund balance is 88% of your budget. That's a bit more than 20%.
I don't think so.
I don't think that's correct, Jim. I don't have the number in front
Doesn't
of me.
sound right, because
No,
The number,
I know when we closed out the year, we had less than $100,000 left over from last year.
the number in this book right here, it's $1,939,104.
That's at a point in time.
Yeah,
Not-
January 23rd, 2025.
Yeah,
So
and we're still in a fiscal year, still spending money until June 30.
right.
The budget is for July 1 forward.
I'm talking about last year's budget. This represents 88% of last year's budget.
What year are you thinking?
No, okay,
Anyway,
understand.
anyway,
We're in the current year, and that is a balance where we are during the current year, and we're still paying bills and spending money. So that number isn't gonna be a final number until following June 30.
so you're saying this is your
That's only
your
what's in
bank
the
account
bank.
balance,
That's correct.
and you're still gonna spend, but your budget was 2 million, 2 million two,
Yeah,
and 8 months into the fiscal year, you're still gonna spend another $2 million?
6 months. Well, there are things still happening. And
Well, we're also dealing with the fact that we're on the electrical alone is going to increase on this.
well, that's
That's
only
the
the
next
new
one.
budget, that is
Right.
not the current budget, but
That fund balance is actually down. It's a snapshot in time. The fund balance is also where our current budget comes from. So we still have another $1 million+ left in our budget that we have to go through. So that account is always fluid. So that's the number on that particular day. Today, it's most likely lower. The way the accounting works here, it is behind. I can't control that. Our bills only get paid once a month. So that number is probably actually smaller than that right now. I don't have that actual number in front of me. But it is a fluid number. That was on that particular day.
It's a variable number, is what you're saying.
Correct.
well, it changes
Cause that's,
daily.
that's not only our savings account, but it's also our operating account as well.
Would it be possible, because if Jim's bringing it up and I don't want confusion when it comes time to do what we have to do, is there a way to provide Jim yourself with maybe a year's worth of those numbers, in other words, month to month? Is there a way to do that? I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
We
Well, I mean, I'd like to see actuals, but.
Well, that's what I'm
but-
trying to
but-
get him to
but
provide
anyway,
you.
Oh,
So,
go ahead.
so, hold on. So. You're never gonna come near this 20%. So say we're 6 months into the fiscal year and you're still gonna be spending out of this account. Your budget was 2 million two, so. You're gonna spend this down to 400,000, you're gonna spend $1.5 million in the next 5 months?
Okay. In the package on the table, which there may be one available to you, the sheet showing where we stand with our budget as of now. Okay, we're 64% of the year now, and we're 58% expended now.
Okay.
So we have expended
Well, where you should be.
almost 1.3 million.
Yeah,
so far, out of the budget of 2.2, we have. Whatever this number is. 923,000 left.
Right.
From the budget itself.
So is that account just mislabeled as fund balance and it should be an operating fund?
No, it's because it isn't just operating, it is,
Well, it says operating fund and then it's
Well,
not fund.
That's what I'm saying,
Okay.
that booklet is providing this information, and that's why, well, no,
but the explanation is, the accounting is done at the town hall. With their computer system. They handle our accounts, bill paying and things, which we pay for. And how they label things is based on how they need to label things. I'm gonna give you a suggestion that you take a few minutes sometime and talk to Amy in her office, and she might be able to explain it better than we can. Because she's handling that, we are
Well, this
not.
is, I
And this
could
becomes
look at this,
confusing.
this is helpful, I could look at
That,
this.
well, that's what we look at every month, and that is the stuff that we
Well,
go by.
and that's why I'm getting involved, because I know what we're doing here.
Yeah.
That booklet doesn't reflect that, and
No.
so I'm very concerned that that booklet, if Jim, who understands these things, is a little confused, what about the guy that's looking to make trouble? I
Well,
mean, Jim's
anybody-
not looking to make
yeah.
trouble, he's
And I-
asking an honest question.
And you're 100% right, by the way, I understand that, it
So
is not clear. So what you're looking at is misleading, and
But normally in a budget, some of the things that you're spending on are actually front loaded. And you're not gonna be spending them in the back of the year. So, okay, I get what you're saying, and it's hard for me to believe that you're still gonna spend $900,000.
Let me ask this question. It might help. Is our spending a linear thing?
No. It depends on what happens.
That's my point.
Yeah.
So you don't know where you're gonna get a spike or a bolt, or whatever, like, through the year. You probably can anticipate it, but it hasn't happened yet.
Let me say another thing that
Yes.
that helps me get concerned. Because on the next page, you talk about excess and unexpended. And the big title on the top says a nice problem to have. I'd like to know whose nice problem that is, that's not the ratepayer. But in almost all of these years, you're unexpended. Maybe I'm misunderstanding this too, is over $200,000. So are you finishing the year with balances of over $200,000? That what this is telling me?
I don't think so, I think
It-
that the information from last year was like 74,000, and that was it. From the previous fiscal year.
Well, this says 19, 20, 20, 21, 21, 22, and then 22, 23, apparently you spent a lot of money on CIP, which really should come from a different account, not the operating account. And then 23, 24 doesn't have any numbers in here. So
Well, they may
Well,
not,
what I'm
they may
saying is
not have
that
been available
the-
at the time that was put together, but the point is, my understanding, isn't that about right? 75,000 is,
Theoretically, that's what it was, but the way the transfers took place, it ended up, if the transfers had taken place in July, it would have been a 74,000.
Okay.
Surplus. The way the transfers took place, that 74,000 surplus went and got spent to help pay down the deficit that was there before the transfers. That's the way I understand it from
Okay.
Amy. So that 70, even though it was a surplus, it was used in August, that's the way the
Right,
transfer.
but we're not hanging on to $200,000 a year. No, I'm saying the booklet, that's why I don't like that booklet, okay, I'm telling you, Jim, I don't like it
I don't
because,
either.
because
And-
it's
and
not.
Let me tell you something, let me show you something else, these pages aren't numbered, but
Right, no, I
Page 14,
understand
but
what you're saying.
There's another one that says allowable use of funds. It says operating fund and then quotes fund balance. And that says that that's prior year earnings, no real limits regarding usage.
You know,
I don't know what that means.
now, let me
You
give
got a
you
lot of
my,
experience on
right, my
corporate
opinion
finance,
is
and
that,
so do you.
right, and that, my opinion, that
We've been to
book,
enough meetings.
that book is one of those things that people put out and it looks pretty and I don't look at that. What I look at is this. We get this every single month. It follows it almost, what is it, 64%, and we're at 58% spent.
Yeah.
There is a few things still out there, so by the time we're done, what I would say, Jim, if you have a real question, and that's what I was trying to say to Kevin, is I want Kevin to put together last year's, whatever it was, from day one to the end of the year, and whatever's involved. And Kevin, I'm not saying rush to do it because I want it done right, but just, this should all be able to be pulled right out of the bookkeeping and given to you. It's public record. We're not hiding it. Because about 3 years ago, John Matthews and I, what we did is we stopped playing games with the numbers. And we started doing what we're doing with the rates, which is to stabilize them. And I think for 3 years we stabilized them. I've lost track. But we actually made them stable. This year, we're actually having to talk raising them because of what the future holds for us. Costs have gone up, like electricity, and
Sludge removal,
thank
it's all
you. I've had a
contracted
long day,
services,
so I'm not-
that's where the increases are.
right, so,
I understand that.
There's no other increases in our
Right.
proposed budget.
so I'm gonna encourage Kevin, and please don't expect it tomorrow, he's got a full plate, but maybe before next month's meeting, he can provide you with some kind of accounting where we're at.
Did
You
you
know
say
what
there
I'm
was
trying to say?
74,000 left over last year? Did I hear that?
The way the accounting worked and the way the transfers took place, if the transfers had taken place before the end of closing of the fiscal year, there would have been a surplus. But unfortunately, the transfers didn't take place until after August, and that surplus went to go pay down some other overspending in some accounts where it should have came out of one fund, it ended up coming out of another.
Right.
Happens all the time.
But it is clear, the booklet, as far as I'm concerned, Jim, I'd throw it in the garbage. I'd say if you want to know more, we can provide you with every month we get this. You know, that's how to track money. That's fluff, and you know what I'm trying to say. If I was selling you something, I'd use that. I'm not trying to sell anyone on the rate. The rate we do is the rate that's almost the reality rate. If the town did it with taxes, we wouldn't have the problems we have with taxes.
All right, well,
And I
guess-
understand
guess
the confusion.
I,
The question to you is, we had the surplus of 74. Well, but we actually spent out of that surplus into the following year, what you're saying. So that 74
No, not
wasn't real,
necessarily.
or was it?
There
real,
were
was it-
unexpected costs in the budget, which were the payouts of employees who were retired, which weren't covered completely in the budget.
Right.
The surplus that would have been there does not include those payouts. Since those payouts were included in the regular budget, that 74,000 was used for part of those payouts.
And they were done in that fiscal year, not in the next year, they were prior
Okay,
year. So that, it's not that the accounting is wrong or the money was spent at the wrong time. It's the delay in getting things like that processed through the system.
So is the 74 real? In a sense, and if you balance everything out.
It is, but you can't look
I
at
don't think
one
it
point,
is.
see, even that book, it
That's
takes
my
one
question.
point in time. You need to look at 12 months. And see everything that occurs in that 12 months, and even after the 12 months, what you had left in that 12 months, what occurred that got paid afterwards.
Yeah.
And I certainly don't have it off the top of my head. That's why I'm saying to Kevin, I'd like to see that.
That would reflect the real true surplus.
Because if we're gonna have a rate increase, which I don't foresee us being able to avoid, we're doing everything we can. You know, to avoid these things. That's why we're gonna raise the FCC charge from the 6,500. We
already
raised
did.
that, right. So,
Go ahead.
so what about the FC? We have another account that's labeled assessments in FCC.
Yeah.
I know what those are. Those are income, though.
right,
Those, that labeling of the account as that does not tell somebody what that account is supposed to be used for. That's another $1 million, according to this book, which guess I need to throw in the garbage.
Okay.
I would, if you really.
Well, FCCs are controlled by DEP and state regulations on what you could use that money for. Very specific. You don't get any other options. You
Well,
can't
that's-
move it around.
It says here, it says CIP and then you have another CIP account that has next to nothing in it, but,
Well, again, I'm back to where we need to look at the accounting, provide the actual figures, throw that book out the door. That doesn't mean the book isn't right. It's picking a point in time. And again, we're back to.
investment fund and FCC fund is for capital projects and major equipment expenses only.
Correct.
Okay.
The assessment fund or the assessment account is what the tax collector uses, because not only does it collect FCC charges, it is also still collecting funds from when the town put in sewers and back charge people for them. That fund, that also goes into that account. So it's separated on the sheet that I get every month from the tax collector, but it is just called one account called the assessment fund. Whatever comes in for whatever sewer line was laid in town and the town backfilled goes back to the town. Any of the connection charges goes over into our account. We just happen to call it the assessment fund because that's what the town has labeled.
The one thing, perhaps we're missing a point on this, the selectmen usually get it every month in their budget, they get a budget breakdown. Line number, whatever. Total for the year. Percentage expended
Yes,
per the
It's what we
report.
get
Yeah.
every week. We
and
get
we
that.
get it every month.
We got it right. That's what I'm saying.
Not there.
Well, I'm not.
Wrong paper,
You're
wrong
wrong
paper.
paper.
Oh, that's
The
why.
last page on your
Okay.
green sheet
Maybe that's why.
is where it is. No, the one on the table. On the table, Dick, not the one you brought with
So that
you.
one? Okay, there you
That's
go.
it. That's it.
There's your answer.
Every
right
month
there.
we
Yeah.
get this and we follow it very carefully.
I'd say we're pretty damn close with most of it.
Yeah. I mean, the FCC, we actually raised, because it hadn't been raised in years, Jim. We're looking for ways to make money without affecting the ratepayers. One of the things we did this year was we stopped allowing the town to connect for free. They put in a new building, they don't pay the FCC like anybody else. There's things we're doing that they've cut our costs but created revenue.
So is the FCC fund really almost $1 million? And
Well,
are there plans for that?
So this is what you have, this is what I have been learning from the tax collector, not the tax collector, the finance office. So there is approximately 970,000. There's $200,000 of that has to come out for this year. So that'll bring that account down to approximately 750.
What do you mean it has to come out?
And actually so
Yeah, see, you're dangerous to talk about it. You need to put it on paper and provide it to
Complicated.
them.
what happens is the town pays the bills out of our CIP account and then we transfer the money in. So when we spend out of our CIP account, the town pays out of its fund, and then we make the transfer to go in. We do not transfer the whole 200,000 on July 1st. So usually at the end of the year, we make that transfer to cover that account. So for the fiscal year, the town covers that account until we make that transfer. Normally, it's 200,000 depending on what projects and what emergencies may come up. Is all that money accounted for this year, 200,000? I have approximately $10,000 left in that account. For the rest of the year. So if I need something, I actually have to come back to the board and ask for more money out of that account if I do another CIP project, which is usually anything over $10,000. So
pay them till the end of the year.
that's usually when the
fiscal year.
correct. So the town
So we have an account with them.
the town floats us alone
Like an account.
until we make the transfer. Once we make the transfer, then it's done. The $15,000 you're seeing is left over from another CIP account when we purchased the vehicle. There was $100,000 put into that account. The vehicle was purchased for approximately $85,000. And that money has stayed in that CIP account for the time being, is what happened. we haven't touched that money yet or decided what to do with it. Or bring any,
Well, and let's not forget that a lot of the work that would normally be farmed out, we've been doing in-house, so we've been saving money that way too. So, I mean, that's why I say you really need to, the book is pretty, okay, that's the
Yeah,
best I
that's
can
what
say.
it's for.
And you need to look at what we look at each month, you need to see the bookkeeping itself, because we're not, we have a backup fund, yes, it's not it's not a part of the term flush. It's enough to make us so that we can buy equipment and so on. And next year, the biggest problem we've got is the cost of everything, just like everybody else, just like your household. The cost of electricity, the cost of the
I'm
employees,
not quarreling with that.
yeah.
I'm not quarreling. What I'm saying is, you should have, you should have a fund balance of 15 to 20%. That would be $400,000 that you can just have in the drawer.
I
in the
don't
desk
think
drawer.
we have that though, do we?
the state recommends you have at least a year operating expenditures.
Right, but do we have that?
I'm sorry, I missed the,
Do we have that right now?
do we have a year's worth?
No,
No, we have.
We
It's
don't.
we got a $2 million budget and our minimum balance in the fund balance, we have dictated at $750,000, which is not a year. Not even
It
close.
shouldn't be a year. It should be 15%.
uh,
The state's rainy day fund is 15%.
That's
The town's.
that's nice, but you
The
gotta
town's- wait a minute,
understand.
The town's fund balance policy is between 10 and 20%. You guys all know that. You guys have.
Yeah, we know- I
years
know
of
that, but the-
Experience here.
You have to understand that DEP sets the rules for sewer systems. Not the town, not the state. Doesn't work that way. DEP sets the rules and tells you where you gotta be.
So what's DEP say about fund balance?
So they tell you that they want you to have a year's worth of operating expense,
It's been my
which
understanding.
we don't. And the FCC, we have a
Should be.
minimum balance of 500,000 because major things can cost a lot of money, and if you need to do it, you have to pay for it. I mean, you have no choice.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
and that's what the whole
if
thing
you
is all
don't think
about.
that's right, then then it's something you have to argue with the state. In other words, we have to at least follow kind of what the state wants, and if we're not up to what they say, then we're short.
So is there a particular statute or something that's going?
Something somewhere, if you ask me, I don't know where it is, we can dig it up, I'm sure, but that's the premise we've been operating on. It's having 1 year's worth, and we've always been short. And the rate we charge, we actually sit here and talk about other towns, what they're spending, what their projects, everyone's, well, Paul probably has a bunch tonight. That we're actually middle of the road. That doesn't mean we're the lowest. I don't argue that, but we're not the highest either. And when you look at the projects that other towns are doing with their plants, the costs involved compared to what we've got going on here, which is, we've got internal where the people are doing the jobs, our crews are doing it instead of having to go outside. So we might save some money there. But that's why I say that book, I'm always against those kind of books because when it comes to dollars and cents, this is the kind of thing you need. You need actual bookkeeping, and everything else is kind of crap in my head. I let it happen because that's the way people do. They put PowerPoints together, etc. So if you want, and I agree with your idea tonight of what you brought to us, because if we raise the rate, I want to be able to say to people, this is why.
And I want you to just, all the boards and commissions I've been on, including this one,
Mhm.
I'm always looking out for people's money, because it's too easy to spend other people's money.
And we do it
And that's
every
what I
time
want
we
you
meet.
guys to
You
do.
are correct.
We are absolutely, if you read our minutes or even see our videos, you'll see, we're like pro ratepayer. We do everything we can to keep the costs down.
And
that's,
this,
we
okay,
encourage it.
I don't want to take all night with this.
No,
But,
it's important you
I'd
brought
like
it
to,
up.
to me, I don't understand why you shouldn't be governed by the town's policies, particularly with the fund balance. You're telling me that the state wants you to keep some ungodly amount.
Because we're
Okay.
flush.
Well, I'll give you one
concept that I think is important. If the town chooses not to pave a road, they can get away with that to save money. The sewer system works 24/7, no matter what. The state doesn't give a damn. If all your employees left today, they don't care. Your plant has to operate, everything has to work, so you make it work no matter what it costs. That's the sewer system. You don't have options. Everything has to work at 100%, 100% of the time. Town has other options. They can choose not to do something and postpone it. We don't get to postpone.
Well, you
If
know,
a pump fails, we have to replace it.
it's no different,
Period.
it's no different than
No
what.
different than it.
No.
I
and it's no
disagree.
well, it's no different though than what they did to Warehouse Point Fire Department for 20 years. And, you know, you guys had to
Yes.
get hoses because it's required, you had to do
Exactly. You
this.
can't postpone
And the
everything.
town sat there and said, well, we don't care, we're only gonna give you this. We try real hard
That's
and,
why we tax people now and we go by the rule.
right,
Yeah,
and
I
I'll tell you
agree.
what,
And we don't have a fund balance of
no,
years.
well, and the difference is you guys have got a way to generate revenue. We only have a limited amount of revenue we can generate with the FCCs and with the actual rate. And we don't want to raise the rate. That's why the FCCs tonight, you're gonna see a $6,500 one. It's going to 7,000.
It
It's
already
already,
did.
it already did, excuse me, we did it
February
last
1.
Right, so we're already making steps, we've cut the town off. We literally have cut them off because we heard about them maybe wanting to build up Kogut property. That whole thing where they were gonna build apartments, they were talking like having us hook them up for free. Okay, so I get what you're saying, and that booklet, I get it, and I think that if we're gonna raise the rate, which we're probably gonna have to, because I see electric going up and all that crap. Then I think we need to make sure that we've got a better explanation than what you saw, because you know how
As
it
long as,
works.
as long as you know, you're doing the right thing,
Yeah,
that's
well,
all I'm looking for. This book apparently misled me, but
Yeah, I understand that.
Well-
it looks to me like you're having $200,000 surplus every year. Going and
No.
a fund balance, which is
well,
somewhere else
I'm glad you
of
said
$2
something,
million.
because you're a guy I could sit down and explain to some of the other yahoos you can't.
Well,
So
that's-
I'm glad you came by and had us explain it, and certainly anything you need, Jim. I'm gonna ask the board, or Kevin will, I'm sure, just do it.
We'll make sure we
Provide
get it.
you get it, because it's important that someone like you knows what we're doing, so when they say, oh, you can go, whoa, no, this is why they're doing stuff.
Well, I would like to see some of the actuals and things, and maybe even some of these DEP regulations that you're telling me that conflict with state and town regulations.
They don't conflict, they're just separate,
Yeah,
totally separate, totally
Yeah.
independent.
Well, they got a gun over your head anyway. Imagine a hot seat that guy would be in if he doesn't comply with the
Well,
state
they got-
DEP
got
permit. They
some
can
of
come
these-
in here and take over and
Oh.
raise so much hell.
Okay, I get it.
I'm serious.
Okay,
Kevin, when you get a chance, if
That's
you
fine.
put something up.
All right.
agenda.
that,
And for
that would be
us,
useful, because we want you to understand,
Yeah,
you know, that's critical. Okay. Yes, sir.
That makes more sense having that,
We're not gonna step on.
that sheet there.
Yeah,
with
every
the-
month.
With the fund balance, that makes more sense than,
Exactly where we are, what percentage of the year has gone by, what percentage of the money has been utilized and where it went. And what every account is doing. There, and that's,
Good to know.
to me, that is the most important thing we have going, so we're tracking
Can we-
every single
can we
month.
do this? Let's start, because what concerns me is Jim understands this stuff. And if he got just a hair confused, I'm not mad. I'm just like,
No.
wow.
I want
Is
people
this
to-
included in our minutes that are filed? In other words, we have to
Not the
file,
minutes, no.
why can't we do that?
Okay.
Well, I'm just asking if there's a reason we can't. I'm
It's
not,
certainly, let's put it this way, it's public information and it's available
how can it hurt?
every month. Now, you don't have to make it part of the minutes,
Okay,
because if you made every document part of the minutes,
well,
it would be
I understand.
unmanageable, okay? But it's definitely available. I'm sure we have every one of these for every month.
I know I got it in my house.
And so,
I got great granddaughter.
and it's useful not just to see one, to see them as they progress.
Right,
So you can understand.
okay.
This was somebody else's.
Well, is it?
You throw it at me.
Well, yours is here. I'll take your own.
So you're looking,
Pardon me.
I just wanna make sure I have clarification. You're looking for those,
Budget summary that we get every month,
okay,
if we had those available, you know,
from previous meeting?
yeah,
Okay,
for
'cause I
the
don't,
whole
I don't,
budget year,
I don't know how Laura updates them.
neither do I.
If she saves them every week,
We'll find
or
out.
just,
I'm good with this.
You look at it.
Okay.
It's
I-
right here, I mean, you're.
If it's, okay, that's fine, let's not overdo this.
Yeah,
You're
let's
still
not
in
overdo
February.
it.
But I don't want you feeling like anything's not being
I
provided.
just, maybe the bottom line from you know, a couple of years would be good, but you don't have to give me stuff for every month.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can do, because I think it'll be valuable. We don't want anybody to be in the dark on
I
this.
can pick it up, but I have a long way to travel, so.
I know that. That's okay, you can use your bicycle
Especially when you used to pick all the tax warrants on.
or your walker, whichever is appropriate.
Oh, you guys, behave. Moving on,
Aren't you
Mr.
welcome?
Chairman.
Okay, but thank you for your input, it's valuable.
It is. Thank you for your response.
Okay, any applications?
no,
Okay, good. So we won't be approving any because we don't have any. Legal will pass for right now, that'll be an executive session, the little there is. Public hearing, ooh. Oh, we can go to. The motion list. Number 10. Motion to suspend the regular meeting.
Second.
You have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next. Next motion. Open public meeting hearing for Howlett 44 Winton Road. Motion. Yep.
Second.
So we have a second,
Oh, Tom seconded that.
okay, Tom seconded that, good, fine, okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the public hearing is now open, and there's still no one online, right? Okay, just wanna be correct. Okay, Town of East Windsor Water Pollution Control Authority, the Water Pollution Control Authority of the Town of East Windsor will hold a regular meeting starting at 6:30 PM on Wednesday, February 26, 2025, at the EWWPCA Administration Building, 192 South Water Street, East Windsor, Connecticut. The on-site meeting is restricted to commissioners and staff. The public may participate via remote video conferencing platform Zoom. Details to join the meeting are available on the WPCA agenda, which is posted on the town website. During this meeting, the following public hearing on the calculation and imposition of facility connection charges on the following properties will be heard. Howlett 44 Winton Road, 1 EDU, $6,500. Copies of said proposed calculations are on file, open to public inspection at the Office of the Water Pollution Control Authority, 192 South Water Street, East Windsor, Connecticut, dated this 14th day of February 2025. Paul Anderson, Chairman, Town of East Windsor Water Pollution Control Authority. Okay. So. There's no one here representing Howlett. This is a new single family
yeah, they already paid.
and they pay.
Yeah.
Okay,
They came in, I ask a question, Mr. Chair?
yeah,
Thanks. They came in under the old price tag?
Yes, they did.
Okay, and that's because they started before February 1 or whatever.
Yeah, they came in before.
Okay. Just want to make sure that we're all clear on that. Okay.
okay. Any other questions, comments? Public hearing, any, the public?
Just a quick quick, they paid before February 1st,
I think
that
they
doesn't
did.
matter.
That doesn't matter,
I don't know,
application date,
yeah, so it was
They paid
paid,
any time within reason.
yeah. They're, but they are paid off, they paid the 6,500 there.
okay. They didn't have to, just wait, or anyway, but whatever, I'll say. Yep, nobody Nobody else has anything?
Motion to close the public hearing for Howard, or Winton Road.
It's second one. We gotta wait for it.
Oh,
We gotta not have to do
you're
it.
messing up the minute. All in favor?
All right,
Okay, so the public hearing is now closed.
Make a motion to resume the regular meeting.
second.
Hey,
Hey, you think I'm gonna let you guys have all the fun?
All in favor? All right, we're back in session. Okay, number 11 is action on facility connection charge. Motion to impose a facility connection charge for 44 Winton Road as published. Second. We have a second.
Yeah.
Any discussion?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
No. Hearing none, all in favor?
All right.
Opposed, abstentions? Okay. Guess what's the next item?
Okay, we have 25 to 26 budget. Fiscal year.
That's right.
Okay, motion to approve the.
Okay, you can do that if you wish. Go ahead.
Motion to approve the fiscal year 25-26 budget as presented.
I'll second that.
Then
you get your
second. In discussion, Kevin, are there any updates on the budget?
Other than what I gave you with the percent changes
No, nothing newer than that.
on for the proposed budget, no.
Okay, I'm just asking so we understand. Okay, so,
I've had some cost increase since I've presented this to you, but that can hopefully be covered in what we have. There were some unexpected small increases that happened.
no doubt. Mean like telephone service?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, boy.
They will not be with that too.
Yes, we're all having fun, aren't we?
Yeah, wasn't that a screwed up thing?
Well, that's okay. The chief did apologize to me.
Yeah, I don't think it was their fault. It was that TPX.
It's just an unfortunate circumstance, but it's one more piece of independence from the town. And I say that's a positive.
Correct.
Well, the key is, we slicing that budget a little too thin. I don't know how bad of a whack you're taking on the phone.
I don't know.
It went up over probably about 65%.
Well, I
Yeah,
don't,
but a percentage isn't.
It went up,
What?
so it went from $47 to $65.
Oh.
But
Go ahead.
so we did go through our phone lines to see what we had. So we had 5 phone lines. We determined that we did not need 2 of them because we quite don't know where they went to.
Yeah.
So we got rid of 2. So the increase won't be as bad. So we're down to 3 lines versus 5,
Okay,
and it's approximately $20, $40, $60 a month. So with the disappearance of those 2 lines, we should be close to balanced in that account.
So that move put us over the edge. To do
Well,
this.
Well, what? Yeah, I mean, it's not huge, but it is. But we, like I said, we were able to shave a couple phone lines off that we
Yeah.
did not need. So
Okay.
it does work
We
out.
gained a little bit on it.
Yes. The only drawback is that now we have to pay an installation charge to have our phone lines brought back.
and are we getting phone lines or are we going digital?
I'll let you know on Monday because the technician is coming out on Friday.
Okay, fair enough.
My biggest concern was getting our numbers back.
I had-
We gotta get the same numbers back.
I totally understand that, but I don't think that Frontier is providing phone lines anymore.
I don't think you're right.
If you got service coming into here originally,
No, I
we'll see
don't.
why not.
Well, that's what
Yeah,
we're
but
kind
wait a
of,
minute, this is a business phone, it's different.
well, that's what we're
Maybe.
kind of confused because
Imagine,
Frontier was our carrier.
yes,
They disconnected us.
yes,
And then all of a sudden they have to come out and look at it and do something.
yeah,
We're gonna find out
They
Friday.
do that by
Gotcha.
mistake or by error?
no,
That was-
they didn't instigate it, they're just involved, okay? Another phone company
I can't,
basically took over
Tell
the
you what
phone
happened.
number.
It sounds like a little bowl of spaghetti right at this point.
It is,
It has to be straightened out.
but it'll all get sorted out and that'll be fine. That's a big plus.
so hopefully by Friday, we will actually have phone lines.
That would be
Great idea.
Any other changes in that budget since we last met?
The only concern is going to be natural gas. We don't know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
And that's, if it goes through as approved in November, it is going to be 50% increase. 25% in the cost of gas and 29% in the cost of delivery.
Some people online.
So I can't,
It's very controversial.
yeah, I can't answer what's going to happen.
No, well, that's what a budget is. That's the best guess.
The best estimate you can put together.
No,
Some things
well,
we
but
just don't.
and it better to be a little short and then try to figure it out. Because otherwise, because in the end, when you, whatever you have for a budget affects what we're gonna charge ratepayers. And if you put too much in there, then you will have ratepayer increase, and we don't want that. We already know there's gonna be an increase.
Yeah.
The whole plan is to keep it to the minimum every year. And that's what we've been doing until this year with the, what we're dealing with as far as the crap.
The only other wild card in the budget, when we're not quite sure what's going to happen, is the month of December. We are losing our sludge disposal site for at least 30 days. Minimum, we have been told.
Okay,
Our sludge will be going, instead of to Naugatuck or Waterbury, it will be going to Cranston Road, it will be going to Rhode Island, which is a $900 increase per load.
yeah,
That's further away, right?
Yes,
So it's gonna cost more.
Yeah.
likely.
oh, absolutely.
across the state line.
Yeah, it's gonna cost more in transportation and disposal costs.
But
So we really can't, we really didn't put any of that in the budget, because we don't know how long they're gonna be down and what the true costs are going to be.
Right,
We will try
Well,
our
we can't.
best to minimize it, because we're actually going to be experiencing it next month, because they're having 2 plant shutdowns, which is unheard of. So our sludge will for 2 weeks will be going to Rhode Island, so we're
oh,
hopefully going to be limiting as much as we can until we get our normal disposal.
I'm
site
going
back.
for a
Temporary
25% increase without that problem.
Yes, correct.
How many loads you generate?
Depending on the month, I don't have it on me, it could be anywhere from 20 to 30.
You're looking at a big number. No. Might wanna put a little bit in there.
Because once
I
we
hate to
start,
go up on the
No,
prices.
no, and
We got
once we
$250,000 into it now.
well, once we start doing it though, that's how you go down the slippery slope.
I-
I'd
I-
rather be short one year and figure out,
How to
scramble
make it
to
up.
fix it, than to overcharge anybody. I
You
mean,
can't
and
work
that's,
in a deficit either.
well, we're not,
No, no.
we're not.
No, what it might mean is that we have to remove money from our fund balance to cover the shortage. Not from the ratepayers. There's a difference, and that's the better way to do it when it's something that's temporary.
I mean,
It's
it-
because they're gonna come out in one way or the
We're
other.
paying the bill,
Yeah.
whatever the bill is, because we don't control that.
Right. The key is to not jack anything unless it has to be. That's what town governments do wrong, is they create numbers based on the worst case scenario. We're more of a realistic number, and that's the way
We
we.
do our best.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit of
You
wiggle
know
room.
you gotta come and you gotta come in next month, so you
Well,
know.
Next
Well-
month, we have it for 2 weeks, which we should be able to handle. It's going to be the shutdown for a minimum of 30 days.
Yep.
Is going to be a little bit more challenging to try to handle fiscally.
Yeah, I agree.
So
And-
that's-
And that minimum 30 days is a scary concept. because
Correct.
Right,
Minimum is usually not the way it comes out.
Don't usually work that way.
well, this budget though, what we're putting together tonight, the budget, if we approve it, which is what I'm assuming we're doing. That's not creating the rate yet, that's just
No.
approving the budget.
That's correct.
And I think it's important we do that as it is, because that's the. I don't wanna say best case scenario budget, but it's a realistic budget. Except for the temporary things that we've discussed. And I think that's the way to go about this. I'd rather be a little short this year and come back to the table next year's budget and say, hey, this happened, this occurred, this went up. Now we're gonna have to increase, because then we can at least explain that increase to the ratepayers. Also, by then, maybe something will be online, maybe we'll have more things happening, I mean, so. If we can, when we can, I personally, I'm gonna be voting for the budget tonight, because I don't see what else we could do. There's not a whole lot to cut from what I can see. No, I don't see it at this point. Doesn't mean it can't happen, I mean, you know, but at this point, that budget's not, I don't wanna say lean, but it's not. It's not a ridiculous budget, it's right in line with where it should be. And so we can continue to
Well,
operate.
Basically, the increases are all contracted services, and there's no other increases, there's decreases. And that's where you get a little bit of cost savings, although the significance may be limited. But the contracted things are not optional costs. So you will do those. And that's the stuff we're looking at. So there you are. Okay, any other input? Questions? Then we can vote on the motion on the table, which is to approve the budget as presented. So, all in favor of that?
Alright,
Aye, okay, so it passed for now. Now,
So short.
if there's a anomaly type of thing that comes up, this can be revisited before we set rates if we had to. I'd prefer not to get, well, it depends on what, reality is reality, we can't control that. Okay, IT status. Oh, boy, already?
For IT status, we had our new VFD, our variable frequency drive on our plant water system was replaced under warranty. It is working. We had to go on battery backup because the main breaker for our building in here had to be shut off. The electrician had to come out and fix it. The breaker was stuck in between on and off.
What do you get out of that?
What's that?
What do you get out of on and off?
Neutral.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Bob's in a joke.
Good.
The mechanism that holds the exterior lever
Yeah.
was loose, so we had to shut it off and adjust it and put it back into
Okay.
service.
Okay.
So all the power had to come off. Our battery backups worked fine. And we had no major issues.
Good deal. That's it?
That's all I got,
Okay,
right?
no, it's perfectly okay. That's great. Well, that's why we like that, that's, okay, I'm going down the list. So the next item is under new business. And this is, should we allow the public to join meetings in person?
Since I brought it up,
And, go ahead, I'm listening.
I understand why we had it this way for so long. But it's gotten to the point now, I still think we should do the Zoom part. I think people, if they wanna come in by Zoom, it seems to be a good idea. But I also think folks should be able to come to our meeting with the change of the times. Until something occurs that would make us do different, there's no reason they shouldn't be able to join the meeting.
We have room here for.
Yes.
We'll manage.
Someplace bigger.
Well,
This is bigger. Kind of.
Well-
This is it, but the point being is, I'm looking at it, so, okay, so we got two people here now, and we could accommodate more if we had to.
Yep.
There's physical room in the room, so. Yes, I certainly don't have a problem with it.
We've never had more than two people visit us. You guys are
Well,
like the huge.
our liaison,
You're new.
our liaison from the Board of Selectmen is not here,
Yeah,
that's a person. Okay, but. I'm sure we could accommodate
I think so.
whatever we need to accommodate, and that was all started with COVID, and now we can start working our way out of that.
But we can continue to do the Zoom.
I think
Oh, yeah,
the Zoom is really inexpensive,
Right,
what is it, $125 a year or something?
I think so, approximately.
150, some number like that. To me, that's a bargain to allow people to have access.
Right.
Some people don't have transportation.
Whatever it is.
And I think that
Yep.
people should be here.
You might wanna put a
But if
notation
you
on
want to
there
allow them here.
Yes.
below the inline, all this online business that public seating,
Well,
public seating
We'll,
at the physical
we'll
meeting
adjust the
is,
statement
is limited seating available should be in there
Yeah.
somewhere.
and,
Because it really could get jammed up in there.
yeah, I suppose it could.
I don't know, the fire marshal would come in and tell us to throw them out, come on.
Right.
Tell Rich to throw them out.
It'd be good if somebody was to make a motion to that effect.
Okay, I make a motion to, what are we?
Number 13. No, not removing.
Well, just
Number
straight up,
13.
okay, number 13, I make a motion to allow the public to join any future WPCA meetings in person, as well as continuing the Zoom broadcasting.
Okay, we have a second. Any further discussion?
I think it's a good idea. I'm glad to see people here.
No.
Jim's gotta come so far.
Okay, so hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, then we will adjust as needed on our paperwork.
Can I
Okay.
make a comment?
Yes, you can.
Like most boards and commissions, public doesn't attend. Like they should,
We know that.
but, they certainly should have that option.
They should have the option. I think it's great.
And one of my pet peeves is with the police commission holding their meeting in a room smaller than this at a police station. I think
Oh.
they should be up at the town hall meeting room.
Yes.
And if you need to be, maybe you should be too, if it comes to that.
Oh, I tell you, if all of a
You got a
sudden.
mob in here and I mean, when I used to be on this board and, we had Jay was in here all the time with plans and other people and so
Right.
forth, so.
No, I agree, if there's
I
something
used to
really
sit
need
there,
to,
Kathy,
they can always
be
move.
there all the time.
So you're correct. If it's a problem, we'll adjust.
Oh, yeah, that-
As simple as that, but you're right, participation levels are relatively low. And
well, we had it set up with they could come by Zoom and we were keeping them out.
Everybody's got that, Jim.
no,
Yeah, I
COVID's over a
understand.
long time.
COVID's been going on.
Well, I know, but there's some of us,
Nonsense is
okay.
still.
some of us lost people during COVID.
there's maybe enough. I think it's totally legit keeping the service running for a very incidental cost.
Right,
And then you're done. Okay, it's an option, and that'll be fine. Okay, so we did that. All right, next item is the bill sheet review. You've got some items that were included, and you've got the breakdown on the last page showing you that we're 64% of the year and 58% of the money expended. And if you look at our CIP allocation at the bottom of that, we have spent nearly all of that CIP money on projects so far. And that's where we are. Now, we do that every year. $200,000, and we usually get at least $1 million worth of services out of that by not hiring contractors. We do when it's appropriate. Need an electrician? Get an electrician. But if our people in-house can do the work, let them do the work, because down the road, they understand how it was put together. It's a lot easier to maintain.
How can you capture that, so that it's visible?
So
In the magic book.
That's the problem.
to answer your question, this is one of the questions I had before the previous superintendent left.
Mhm.
So probably approximately 12 years ago, an engineering firm did come in.
Yes.
They came up with a list of projects and costs that were 10+ years ago, not
Yeah.
today's cost. And each one of those projects was given a dollar amount and given a priority. And that's how we compare those costs. Is it
yeah.
fair to still use those old numbers? That's what we use. If we have to, we can put on a multiplier for inflation,
Yeah.
but the projects and costs have been estimated already using outside labor. And now we use our inside labor and buy the parts.
I think that'd be notable. You know, the savings, I mean. We realize it here, but people outside have no idea.
Well, that's what. we
Well,
have to keep telling.
the insert on the bill sheet usually explains what we accomplished over the year.
Usually in the
You don't get a
village,
bill, so you don't know that, and that's okay.
the Village Voice or whatever.
The Five Village Voice, yeah.
Yes, thank you. We normally put an article in there and it would explain a lot of our projects.
And everybody gets that.
Yes, unfortunately.
In the last 2 years, we've been doing more, it's more of a promotional thing than it's like promoting your business. You have to advertise, you have to
Yeah.
get things out.
No, I get that, I just
We'll
don't.
put the information out to the ratepayers,
Yep,
not quote the general public so much. The ratepayers are the ones that are paying the bills,
Right.
right.
and that's valuable. It's available to anybody.
Okay, I didn't realize that, you could just tap into that and come up with a.
And we try to get it out into these publications, but there's only so much space in the publication.
Yeah. I think that's important to recognize, it should be,
Yes,
if we're saving $30,000 or $130,000 by not sending it out, that's a big contribution to the town and the ratepayers.
Yeah, there's some people are at least once a year, what we said, what I
Right.
say by doing it
Exactly.
in-house.
Yeah.
Over the estimated
Yeah,
cost,
yeah.
you put a multiplier in roughly for your
Yeah.
labor rate
Okay,
compared to the numbers that you had.
You fill it with. Do you
Yeah,
capture
we
it?
do stuff like that with our budget presentation and stuff.
You capture it too.
good.
You
Yeah,
got an electronic board.
I think it's valuable.
Yeah, I do too, very good.
the Warehouse Point Fire Department always gets their budget voted in, so whatever they do, we should pay attention. Okay, their budget's passed every year
Yeah,
without a lot of, I mean, I know there's to do, but.
There's a lot of work behind it, that's why.
When you go to.
It's what
when
it's
you
all
go to
about.
vote on their budget, most of your questions are answered, so you're right, so we'll keep working, but we've been working on it, but maybe we'll do more.
Okay, nothing like it if you jump to the superintendent's report, that'd be fun. Okay.
For the month of January, we did meet all our permit limits, our suspended solids. Our suspended solids, our removal, our BOD, our flow and our effluent, solids going out were all under our permit limits, thanks to our process control operator, lab person, Ken Bergeron. She's a really great lab tech, along with our other plant staff. We use 29% of our design capacity. Our nitrogen, which is 59 pounds a day, as of January 31st, it was 31 pounds. So we're actually starting off the year below that number, which is great, considering it's winter.
Yeah.
It's cold out. We're using a lot more natural gas, but it's winter. We did some work on our F-250 2014 truck, new front axles, passenger side bearings, rotors, brakes. Julio, our plant mechanic, he's ASE certified. He did wonders with that. We bought the parts, they were approximately $1,000. He did it all in-house with his own labor, and so we're very fortunate on that part.
That's the kind of thing where we save a lot of money.
It's a big savings.
yes.
Otherwise, you're gonna replace the truck at $80,000.
We were working on our gravity belt thickener, in-house staff. We put on new belts, some bearings and some seals on it. We started some preliminary work at Perry Lane Pump Station. Pumps and stuff came in for that. We're getting ready to do that project. Hopefully this fiscal year, if not early next fiscal year. Call outs, January 31st. We had a possible sewer lateral issue. I can't call the customer back, but once we get phones back, we're gonna go out there. Her lateral is running fine. There were some other issues with it. February 1st, we had car versus pole, power outage and communication outage on the pump stations. Also on February 12th, Cox Communication loves to do their updates at night, so that's when we get all our call outs. OSHA programs, we reviewed our emergency action plan and our emergency response plan. Steve and I have been talking about it, going back and forth. We're getting ready to present it to our staff and get those two things up and going. Working on our confined space plan, getting that updated. We're working with the fire department to see if we can get a mock rescue attempt so they know what we can do and what they can do. So we're all on the same page. I've been working with the chief and deputy chief trying. I was given a task by them, so I have some information to come up with before I can set up that meeting. Also reached out to Kerma, lots of online training. We're gonna have a staff/safety meeting next month to see where my staff wants to go, whether on online training or get people in to see what they feel more comfortable with. Quick blurb, February 7th, 2025, we lost phone service. Luckily, our pump stations are all on our own with Cox Communication. We went back and forth, yada, da, da, da. I'm not gonna get into a long of what happened. We are hoping by the end of business day on Friday at 3 o'clock, we have phones. If not, it may be another week. So. What else do we have? We're gonna talk about transfers and when you guys wanna do transfers for the CIP budget, there's a couple things.
It's whenever,
Okay.
it's gotta be prepared for us so we can process.
Staff is working on, we're working on revamping our grease inspection program, trying to get in more details on that. One of the things staff and I were talking about, you were talking about public outreach. We were thinking about maybe a citizens academy. Maybe a couple hours a month for one night, bring in 8 people at a time. Go through what we do in a classroom setting. Take them outside, show them what we have. Get it, we can only do so many people, the room's only so large.
I agree.
See if people, we were thinking about how popular it may be and putting it out there. If we get, if we get 6 people, yeah, if we don't, well. Another big project we did was right away clearing. Ken and Alan were both out, Route 140 pump station. Both sides of that were done. Route 140 behind Calamar to a park, I don't know the name of it.
Prospect Park.
Okay, Prospect Park, they cleared that out.
Yeah.
From Prospect Park to the industrial park pump station, they cleared all that out behind Lincoln
Okay.
Tech. And the industrial park pump station, there's a right of way that goes to a transportation company and also the road that leads to it. They cleared all that out and we picked up a lot of used tires, probably close to 80 to 100 tires on rims.
They grow out there.
What size?
They grow out there.
Yeah.
It looks like they've been sitting since the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So there wasn't, I'll be honest with you, there really wasn't anything modern. It was definitely all older tires, like,
All the past.
yeah, take it to an antique dealer. The police department patrols that area more often, so there's less intrusion in that area.
Less chance to get it in there.
Good.
Yeah, so,
Good.
and that is all I have for my reports.
Well, thank you.
I just have one question.
Yep.
The public outreach, y'all talked about the academy. I assume you're modeling it after what the police department has been doing, type of thing, and getting somebody and citizens in.
The first thing when I worked in another town, they actually did a citizens academy for the whole town.
Oh, okay.
So they did police, fire, and other departments. That's where I really first got a hold of it, because it was the first time I saw a water and a sewer department actually be part of it. And it was like a 4 or 6 weekend thing. So I went one day a week for like 6 weeks, and they would tour the whole town and learn everything. Not many places do a public outreach like that, and Usually it's the police and the fire departments that do these things, and it's usually the police and the fire department that get them
Well,
up.
no, I think it's good we're doing it. The other is the school systems. I know Steve was working on that, and I'm just curious, have you gotten any further with that? Or?
We're still working back and forth. Steve and Kim are working on a plan to get out to schools when it gets warmer, because we also want to do tours as well.
Excellent,
And bring the
okay.
kids in
Yeah,
and show them around.
It's gonna be fantastic. Yeah, that's all good,
Thank you, Kevin.
You.
all right. So I guess we're gonna move into executive session. And that'll wrap up our meeting for now. Okay,
Thanks for taking
a
the
motion to enter into executive session to include staff and attorney as. Second. Okay, thanks, guys, good to see you, take care.
Take care.
Okay. No, I don't expect any action, but I'll send you. Adjourn and whatever.